Stop biting your tongue. Stop hiding behind masks and perceptions and ideas and things of that nature. Be real. Unfilter yourself.
Why can't that be keeping it real?
Go Kev, go Kev, go Kev, go Kev, go, 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 go Kev, go Kev, go Kev, go
Yo! Yo. What's good in the hood, everybody? This is me,
Yes.
Uncle Kev. Episode, what's this, 5? Yeah, 5. Oh,
Okay.
oh, they made it episode 5. Like I'm somebody's celebrity. Welcome to B, because the soul needs a soundtrack. Episode 5. Y'all, listen, today is about to get real. I have to give this disclaimer. I'm not responsible for what folks say out their mouth today, but I'm responsible for putting it out there, and I'm putting it out there. So just be ready. That's all I'm going to say. But today we just going to talk about a lot of stuff to talk about. Today's topic is called Be Real. Be real with your man. Be real with your girl. We talking about all things relational when it comes to men and women, right? Even if that's not what you get into, we want to pick the brains of folk who got a lot to say about the dynamic of relationships between men and women, all right? And I got two of the best folk to do it, all right? I'm going to start with the stranger to the platform, and I'm going to let her introduce herself, and if she is modest, I'm going to stop her and then say what I need to say. But go ahead, Faye.
All right, yo, it's your girl Faye. You already know what it is. Y'all can follow me at Faye_Baller. Okay, all right. We gonna put that out there now. So I better see the followers skyrocket. All right. I'm Philly born and raised. 26. I'm a school social worker at Maritime Academy Charter School. I am a first-time mom.
Let's
My
go.
son's name is Carter. He
Talk
will
heavy.
be 3 months and 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting big.
That's what they
I'm
do.
a woman of God, child of God. All right.
Talk about it.
I gotta let y'all know now. All right. Yes, that. And I'm just grateful to be here today.
Hey,
So let's get it.
Listen, that almost turned into a testimony. Let's go. All right. Go ahead, bro. He been here before, and he don't need no pre-introduction. Go ahead, bro.
Father, have
Oh, my God. Yo, go.
what's going on, y'all? Big shout out to my brother, Uncle Kev, for having me again on his platform. I appreciate the invite. For those that don't know, I'm Kev, a.k.a. _Big Homie Kev.
I ain't in your business. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so I'm excited for today's episode. I appreciate the invite. I think we're going to tackle this very, 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 very differently, very, very dope, very, very authentically, to use one of your words. A little bit about myself. I'm an entrepreneur. Yeah, I'm just a simple servant of the Most High, to sum it all up. Peace and blessings.
He was just Islamic, a Christian, Buddhist, non-denominational, no relationship, all in one.
I believe in Jesus Christ. Let's clarify that. And I like popcorn.
Yo, he'd have been Ichboo on all that.
Yo.
And there you have it, people. Okay. Here go my folks. We're going to dive into this conversation today because I think it's important. Because let me tell you why I chose this topic today. I am so sick and tired of the gray area between conversations about men and women as they're projected. So, for instance, like when a man says how he feels about women in general, then you get women who want to bash the man around his opinions and his perspectives, right? And then in the reverse, a woman can say everything she wants to say about how a man ain't this and he ain't that, or I need my man to do this and that.
Well,
As soon as a man chimes in, we're
Talk
not
about it.
allowed to give our. I don't like that, and I saw that happening a couple times on my feeds, And I just want to call it out loud real quick. But we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So, but let's start off with this, though, y'all, because this is about to be funny. Your first date.
Oh, Timothy.
Walk us through.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You mean like the first date of the current?
No.
Or the
Your
first date ever?
Your first
ever
real
date?
relationship. Your first date in a real relationship.
My Lord.
Like, tell me about that. Like, mine was just, my first real relationship that I felt like was real was in 7th grade. But that don't count because you can't really go on. We only went to the movies. But as an adult,
Yeah, because I'm sitting here like, my lordy. First off, I got to,
So if you can't recall,
this could get messy.
so let's get messy because we talking about everything. So if I mean, don't say names because I don't want to buy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to start saying things that happen. They going to know, like,
Right.
he talking about me. He used our date.
He just that when you got a bank
Yeah.
of first dates in your backpack, like
God, Jeopardy.
then you got your problems.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't
Sips
remember my
tea.
first date. Yes, I do. It was fun. I remember my mom. My mom called me in a room to give me a condom, and I felt like it was the most disgusting thing ever.
Yeah.
Because why? My mom not supposed
Yeah.
and it turned me off, and I called the girl
Did you
to
do it
cancel
again?
the date, but she wouldn't let me.
What's the noise that how you did it?
It was disgusting. Like,
Yo.
come on, think about it. You don't
Right,
want your
yeah,
mom
not your mom.
as a man. Well,
Now,
I
this
was a
right
man
here,
at the
Kevin?
time, But
Right.
you don't want, and I'm like, you don't want her to think about you in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, she ain't stupid, but you don't want her to think about you in that way.
You
And
want
that's
like
the
a
only-
love don't cost a thing type joint.
And
You know when Steve
yeah,
Harvey gave
I was
her-
about to say they
No.
gave you the shoebox.
Give me variety,
Okay.
baby. I don't know what I'm looking like.
He talking about one hand.
But no, so I had called her to cancel the date because I felt like that was gross, and I didn't want my mom to think if I went that what was going to happen. So I was like, yo, but we went, we had fun. It was dope. We don't like that was probably our first maybe 3 dates in that relationship, and then it was done. But thank God for deliverance. That's all I say.
I went
Yo.
first last time.
Y'all got no first date experience?
Do prom count as a date?
Prom? No.
All right, so I would say my first real date out of high school was to Dave and Buster's on the Boulevard.
Is that where all Philly people go on their first date?
So right here, I ain't in your business. I'm just sharing my first date. I didn't comment on your condom situation.
It just
Okay.
seems like the typical Philly first date.
No, I mean I could have went to Lou and Choose.
What?
I don't know what that is, but
Right.
I ain't in your business.
No, I went to Dave and Buster's on the Boulevard. We sat down, did a little bowling, got a little grub, came outside, car wouldn't start. So
She probably thought you was broke.
what we're not going to do is downplay my efforts
I'm just
to supply an amazing first date.
Effort.
Because up until we walked outside and said, have a good night, everything was great. You know what I'm saying? Tater tots was hot. Extra ketchup came on time.
Yo,
I mean, the brioche bun was toasted. My lordy. But when we stepped outside, even when you try to do good, evil's always present. That's what they said.
Yo.
But yeah, no, went outside, car ain't start. Long story short, big shout out to my pop, my #1 role model. I called him, turned a 45-minute drive into a 20-minute ride. All I'm gonna say is I handled it like a G. To this moment, I don't think the individual knows, but we walked to the car, hit the automatic start button, the car did not start. So I said, I think we should go shopping for a little bit. So we went shopping, I texted my dad. Long story short, my dad texted back like, son, you all good, you can come out. We ain't buying anything, we walked out, car started. So
Oh, so it was like one
Wow.
of them, let me make sure she don't know that this happened.
it was one of them like,
That's
I'd be like,
lit.
yo, my
It-
car
it-
was
it-
fucking.
I like
You call
that.
him out?
it was one of them like, listen,
That's
Pop,
dope.
if you don't come save me right now, your son gonna be single forever.
How old was you?
Wow.
I was 18.
That's dope. I wouldn't have thought him to touch like that. I
Wow.
wouldn't have thought to do nothing like that. She'd have just been like,
That's
Cause I know my pops got my back. I know pops going. We done had them conversations.
she would have had to help me figure
Right.
that out. Like, hey,
Yeah.
you can't get home either,
Right.
so we need solutions together.
Okay.
Okay.
Check,
No, I was-
check that engine oil.
No, it was tempting because I know she got experience changing brakes, so I was gonna be like, you gotta get under that hood. Check the spark plugs.
Wow. That's lit though.
I'm like, listen, I know you know how to handle a wrench. Like,
Hey, that's love.
no, I'm playing, but go ahead.
My first date. See, I was in a sanctified household, so the first dates, you got parents peeking out the windows, just watching every 5 seconds.
Y'all went to a church event?
No, we didn't go to a church event.
Their first date was youth night.
Not you night. All right.
All right, let me stop.
All right, first date, it was at Winston-Owen Park, right off Frankfurt.
Little walk right apart.
Okay. We had Chinese platters.
Oh, this is a real first
That's
date.
a-
Yeah.
go
This is
ahead.
okay.
We had Chinese players in the park, sat under the little tree. He played ball at the time, so like
Okay.
like after he played ball,
Put some shots up.
put some shots up. Then you come over and eat, And then it was the NBA Finals during that time, so then he came over my house and we watched the game. But of course,
Parents saying,
mom and dad, they won't watch the game too, but they really won't watch us.
Oh,
So
man.
we had
Don't know
a
who
date,
playing.
but it had to be co-edit together with them. So that was the first date, but that's all right because I was still I was 17 around that time. No, adult date was at Fridays. That was my first date. That was around 21, and that was the crazy thing is that didn't even happen until my 3rd year of being in the relationship that I got that date.
Wait, whoa!
Yes.
Well,
You was in a
that's-
relationship with him for 3 years before he took you on a
Yes.
date?
Yep.
Where y'all meet at? Snapchat?
We even no.
they met at youth night.
No, not at youth night. No, we met. This was during the summer of right before my senior year of high school. We were at an all-star game. It was at Temple. It was a Philly team or whatever. And his friend that he grew up with, she was real close to me. So he was at the game and she was practice we had the next day, and she was like, "Yo, my bro, he want to talk to you." And I'm like, "Sis, I'm not even with all that. I already know how your bros operate. It's only 1 or 2 things." But this one, we lasted a long time, so I was like, "Okay, it's all good." So that's how we met, but we didn't have a real date until, and that was our anniversary that we went. So it was
3 years.
3 years.
Now you said he played ball, but he was at a basketball tournament watching, so he just wasn't that good.
Who, me?
Him.
Oh, no. He was there to record her because he was in videography at the time.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So he was videoing her.
He waited 3 years for a date.
3 years.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm all right with that.
Yeah, 'cause I'm
I
like-
know.
I got
know,
questions,
man.
bro. What, he was broke for 3 years?
Listen, beloved, I don't know
He was going to make it.
to that man that's out there, and to all my gentlemen, I'm just gonna tell y'all this: don't wait 3 years to take these ladies on a date, please.
Wait 3 months.
Yeah, if you invested and you see something,
Right.
go ahead and make that move, gentlemen.
It's been 5
Yeah.
months
All right.
since you went
Now,
away.
Pete, I got to college when that happened. So, I had a little bit more. I was away from the folks.
Got you. So you could have.
Because,
had a little
when you
bit of freedom.
when you under,
So let me ask you a question.
yeah, go ahead.
At what point in that relationship where you was like, yo, I need a date? Well, what did date night mean? What was date night before them 3 years? What did
That's
that?
a good question because I didn't really have a high standard for what I wanted the date to be.
Got
I
you.
didn't
That
really
makes
know
sense.
what I wanted
Yeah.
at 19, 20, 21.
So you just accepted what you felt
Right.
like, but it is what it is, whatever type time.
What you getting?
Because it was I was looking at it effort, thought put into it.
Well, we spend a lot of time
Right.
together. I mean,
Right,
we go out,
exactly.
I'm bad at planning dates. As an adult man. It's
Right.
not like I don't desire to go on dates. I'm just bad at planning them, Jones.
Right.
It ain't a community, and that's weird because I can plan community events. I can't plan a date because I'm I don't know what.
Right.
Dang, then you gotta go into asking what you. But I guess that comes in learning. But then,
And then he was a chef.
why is it so much? He was a chef.
He was a
Did
chef.
he ever cook for you?
Yes,
Oh, I
all
was
the
about to-
time.
then yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. So the restaurant thing, he did the restaurant thing at home.
But
God.
did he
but-
do it or did he do it?
He did it.
Now I'm talking
He-
about he was tablecloth and he was giving you the setup.
Oh,
or he-
then he mean.
Yeah, make it-
Cause
He
me,
just set up,
yeah,
let's
cause
eat.
me, as long
Because
as
I know you a chef, so you gotta take it to the next level. That's just
Listen.
me.
As long as I can't see the
But
bottom
the
of the
chef, but listen, the chef
right.
at the restaurant ain't responsible for setting the table.
That's why he got and the chef at the restaurant responsible for taking care of this evil.
You're right. But again, I was young.
So let me ask you a question. So now knowing that, is that a part of your non-negotiables in a relationship?
See, that's the thing.
So would you
It's-
willing to
it's-
wait 3 years to get another
No,
date?
no.
So that's your
no, no.
non-negotiable then.
But it's a non-negotiable, but it's not a non-negotiable. Cause it's like
If he a chef, you ain't gotta take him on a date.
Well, I would like
think
I
it
would like
depends
a
on the
man that can cook,
situation.
but like you don't have to be Chef Boyardee. Like
Right.
if you, it's all right.
There's a
I'd
lot
rather
of-
you be honest, because if you're gonna be burning water, like we good. Like
So with that, you rather him be honest. So what happens?
God Jiminy.
What happens when you find yourself in a situation where there's too much cleanup happening because people are too afraid to be like really honest? Like attached to that is folk really have this thing where the truth is scary for them when it comes from the person that they're with. Like Kev, my brother, right? I'll hear the truth from him and receive it better than I would the girl I'm with. Not saying that that's how I operate, but I'm trying
I get
to
it.
make sense to the point. Like, why is that though? Why is it so hard, or why do you believe it's so hard for men and women, male and female, to be like completely authentic and honest with the person that they're with? What's behind the apprehension of that? Like,
I think honestly, what's behind it is, I think oftentimes we start off relationships with an illusion. We don't start off thinking about the bad times, the good times, the ups and the downs. We start off with an illusion, like we're gonna be in this for life. This is how it's gonna work, but there's no preparation. So when you're in an illusion, you don't have no preparation. You don't know what's to come, how it's to come, when it's gonna come. When you come in with a mindset of being real and authentic, then you can be like, I see this getting ready to come up. I gotta talk to you about this. But when you're in an illusion, you ain't gonna see that because your judgment's clouded. You see?
I think also the question pretty much was saying how come we don't address a lot of things, correct? I think
authentically, you can address them and
No.
not be honest about
I think
your experiences and what shows up for you and all that other stuff.
I think a lot of times in relationships is the fear of losing what you think you can't find again. So let's say you're in a relationship and you got this guy or this lady you're dealing with, and there's a lot of things that you appreciate, a lot of things that's working well, but then there's those certain things that you just like, this is just crazy. Like I can't keep dealing with this. So like, it's like, yo, like sometimes we get in that place of like, should I address it and then take the possibility of us really having a crazy fallout and then this person just walking away or us not working out, or do I live with it? But then it's kind of like, come on now. And if you love me and if I love you and if we're really in this for the betterment of not only the relationship but of ourselves, because I can't be nobody half if I'm not whole. So that's a part of my wholeness is being willing and able and authentic to address the issues that I have with you, because at the end of the day we're together. What you do affects me. So I got to be able to address that. But then people are like, man, I'm just going to leave it because it's going. And then you get into that place of sometimes like, I feel like every time I address things, I'm not being heard. Or I feel like every time I address things, it's this or like, man, you get into that place of honesty, be like, man, I'm not even no, but it's like man, I don't even want to address this, man, because like it's gonna be the same thing. So like, but then we get into that place. I'm gonna keep digging on this one. It's like, just say, oh, you in it for better or worse, right? But you don't know what you're signing up for. So if I don't know what I'm signing off on, can I really sign off on it? Because like for better or worse, but I don't know what worse is. So I'm agreeing to. I don't know what I don't know what I'm agreeing to, and I don't know if I can handle to what I'm agreeing to. Because what you can handle at your worst and I can handle my worst is totally different.
Right.
So now I'm agreeing to the unknown. So it's really now at the end of the day, now I just gotta put my faith in God, because I might not can't handle it, but I gotta trust that God gonna bring me through, bring us through. So at the end of the day, I think a lot of times things go addressed because it's the fear of what can happen after that topic or situation is addressed.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
I'm gonna go
And that's
sip my-
why.
sip mine.
Oh,
Sip
go
your
ahead.
juice.
Yeah.
A little
This episode is brought to you
Don't
by.
give me no juice. I'm over here parched.
Sip.
I'm about to say I thirst.
Want me to get you a beverage? I thirst.
Yo, why church folk gotta be churchy all the time? Because then how you gonna have a conversation about stuff and you churchy? Like,
All right, well, I'm gonna be churchy. You thirsty?
Yes.
so question, and he gonna come back. So here's my thing with that, right? Like, I strongly feel that I'm only responsible for my truth and putting it out there. How you receive it and what you decide to do with it is not my business. And is that fair?
Yes.
So, but I feel like sometimes women can be so sensitive and emotional that they rob themselves of the opportunity to hear somebody's truth and accept it for what it is. It's not my responsibility to clean it up for you. I'm only supposed to give it to you the way that I have it, right? Then if there's clarity needed, I provide that. If there's a certain level of discomfort that you have, that's your battle to fight. I can't be responsible for making you comfortable in owning my truth. I can only be responsible for giving you that truth. And I feel like that's where a lot of hiccups come in relationships because, in my opinion, sometimes women just want to be right. And I'm not saying all women, but sometimes women just want to be right. And especially when it's with their significant other. And when you haven't done enough self-work to kind of like own the fact that, hey, my stuff stink today too. You know what I'm saying? Like, then anything somebody spews in your direction is always going to make you feel like you're attacked or being targeted or something like that. But bruh, it ain't never got to be that deep. Sometimes I don't feel like talking. I just worked for 11 hours a day with somebody, with hundreds of other people's children, right? I come home, the last thing I want to do is talk about how that day went. I mean, I don't mind. I'll appease you because that's an interest of yours. But don't force me into a conversation and then get mad when I say, I just want to sit down and just be. I don't feel like talking today, right? Am I wrong?
No.
Does that make me wrong?
No.
Okay.
But I think it comes with the maturity. Because someone that's immature is not going to understand that. You know? Like, I think it's that versus.
And it got to be communicated, right? Like, that's how I learned a lot of things. Like, so let's say I'm long, crazy day. Now, like you said, you done got to your place of comfort, and now you kind of been asked questions or whatnot. You just want to be, right?
Right.
But then I had it like, you got to remind yourself, let me put myself in that person's shoes. Depending on what that person does for a living, they might not have daily interactions with adults, or their daily interaction may be different, and they really might just be craving an interaction with me. But unfortunately, the craving of that interaction isn't. You're not really. You just ask me questions, or you just. But I just make sure I just want to have a conversation. All right, you know what? Maybe I can put my feelings or the way my day was to the side because you actually just want to have a conversation with me, and I need that. But sometimes it's just questions on questions. It's like
that's the.
And it's like
that's what it is.
If you want.
Okay, thank you for saying.
So
that
before
no,
because that's what happened. It'd be like I'm getting all this. So how was your day? And would you do this? So it's either one or two things. It's either you ask me because you want me to ask you the same questions back, or you ask me because you really miss me and you want to. Either one is fine, but if it's not, in a sense, after a rough day, you gotta lay me up. Hey, here's how we going. I just want to talk to you for a little bit. All right, lay me up because if my day hard, I'm going to shut down. It's stressful. I'm that boy that really believes that sitting in the shower with the water run over your head, wash all your problems away. I'm that boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm the TV screen. I'm the TV. You know what I'm saying? I'm that guy, hands on the wall, crying, the water run down his face.
Oh, you Ray J One Wish.
You know what I'm saying? I'm R&B video 4 days a week. All time.
Hey, yo, I can't.
So, but no, I think, no. But you know what's crazy? And it's kind of like going back to what she said about like not having a date. It's like those things just really prepare you for like, one, what you will and will not accept in a next relationship. And then two, you're non-negotiable. Like, all right, moving forward. So this gotta happen or must happen. Like,
what are your non-negotiables? Give me three. 3 non-negotiables.
And different topics?
In relationship. And then I'm going to get off relationship because I don't want this to become a conversation about relationship. I want to talk about that stuff folks be scared to talk about out loud. What's your 3 non-negotiables?
I'm going to let my third one kind of go that way.
Okay.
So
then you go last. So then we're going to have to change it. What's your 3 non-negotiables, Faye?
All right, so I'm going to say must have faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay? Got to be a man of God in some way, shape, or form. Ideally, I would want it to be Christian. Okay? But yeah, that's got to be because you can't be walking around lost, and I can see the light. That's not gonna work.
Talk heavy. Talk heavy.
Number 2, you have to want to be held accountable. Okay. Third one, I'm going to say, that's tough because I can have a list. Non-negotiables.
I'm gonna lay this thing right up.
You have to want to meet halfway. Like, meaning that you're not controlling for what I do, but we communicate how we're going to do it together. So like you can still do your thing, I can still do my thing, but there's still respect, there's still accountability for what we do both together, whereas what we do individually. Because you may be a contractor, I'm a social worker. We're doing two different things, but at the same time, we're still coming to the table together and working it out. If you feel as though you just want me to like be in the house all the time, I can't pursue my dreams, I can't pursue my goals, but you can just be out here doing your thing, that's a problem for me. That's not negotiable.
Bet. But while we there, before we go on, check out my sister. E-Mac got a song titled The Middle, and it kind of vibes exactly with what you was just saying just now. Available on all streaming platforms. Check out the album World Stops. Yo, great music. All right, I just had to put that plug in there.
You said it one more time, just for those, because people in the back didn't hear you. So I want them. Hold on, we got y'all.
The Middle. Faye mentioned The Middle.
Okay.
My sis, my good sis. I sound like Bun.
Talk heavy.
Got a EP out called World Stops. There's a song, track 2, called The Middle. Available on all streaming platforms. Check it out. Great music.
I'm going to listen to it on the way home.
Yeah,
For sure.
All right,
I do the same.
Right before Bible study, I'm going to listen to it.
Oh, and then after this conversation over, y'all gonna need to zen out a little bit. She got another one on that joint too, called Sunbathing. Dog. All the affirmations you need to feel like somebody in the world. Like,
Talk heavy.
It's one that she talking specifically to ladies. And I got all my vibes in that, like straight drove all the way to work, all the way home, and played that track nonstop. And it was like, I was like,
It's all type of vibes.
But I had to plug that in because that's
Gold do be
I'm
vibing in the morning though. He be hype.
Always. You got to.
All type of singing and
You
whatnot.
want to know
good.
what
It be the
with the
out.
filter, yo.
Oh, he gonna filter you.
But you want to know?
It be the outfits though. Look at it. Look.
I'm
Put it together. I'm
filtered until I
together,
don't
Unc.
have to be. I'm genuinely unfiltered.
not the cheetah with the purple.
What we not gonna do is that.
It's giving Tarzan for me.
What we not gonna do is that.
It's giving pop the top button. It's giving pop the top button for me.
I can't stand you. All right, back to topic. All right, I can't.
So what's
stand
your
this dude.
non-negotiables?
My non-negotiable, definitely. I have the same first one.
He said, I gotta be to bring this shirt.
Have to be a woman of faith. You have to either have introduced yourself to that or have the desire to grow closer and stronger in your relationship with God. And then attached to that, you have to be a Christian. And for me,
Yes.
because I don't see that working any other way. Now,
Yeah,
I'm not
same.
against.
I get it.
I'm not against other.
Yeah.
But that's just not. Yeah. So.
Yeah, man.
Another non-negotiable. You have to accept everything that comes with me, and it's not that you have to like. I'm willingly just dumping grounds and just putting everything on you. No, like my best friends are females, and they have been my best friends since diapers. They aren't going anywhere, and you have to trust me enough to know that that relationship is solid the way that it is, and it won't lead to other things. So fix your insecurities. Those are a non-negotiable for me too. And then the third non-negotiable, you have to be willing to heal separate of me and together with me. So I'm not responsible for what all those other guys did. And I'm also not responsible for letting you know that you have an issue with those things, right? I can highlight things. I can contribute to you finding yourself in a better space.
Right.
But I should not be.
Your wound care doctor.
Thank you. Because I was struggling to find the proper terminology to use. But I'm not going to be him. And that's what, and I say that too. Yo, I'm not him.
Nope.
So whenever you're ready, we can talk.
He
'Cause
talking
I'm
real
not him.
crazy.
Okay.
That's exactly how I.
Okay.
Because if you're not honest, how else do you expect to
Right.
give it? Right? And yeah. So those are my non-negotiables. Go ahead, bro. Take us home. And then, like,
No.
oh, I'm scared.
So no, I'm gonna be real, right? I got a lot. I'm gonna be honest. Like over these last couple of years, you start learning what you want, what you need. So I don't have a top 3, but I'm gonna give you 3 of my top non-negotiables. No order, just. But I'm gonna say the best for last. Well, not one of the best for last, but so first and foremost, I'm not even gonna mention it because we know this. So of course you got to be a woman of God. Like I'm not even gonna put that in my.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I would say, of course, as uncomfortable as it is for me, I need a woman that's gonna push me.
Yeah.
Call me out on my my stuff. It's uncomfortable, and as a man, I can say that a lot of us men, we don't. A strong woman that challenges us, 70% of men gonna run from that or cause an issue with it. But if you really identify that this lady is really here for you, and they really just want to push you, I gotta accept that. You know what I'm saying? So that's first. You gotta be, and through my different, even when I tell you not to, that's gonna let me know you strong, and you know that I'm really wrong, and you gonna lock in on me. So you gotta be able to challenge me. Second thing is, you must be invested in me, mind, body, and spirit, top to body. Like my mental health, my physical health. Like if you see me slacking, like everything about me is accountability. Because at the end of the day, we know we grown, and if you just hold me accountable, that's gonna make me be that much better. Because if you hold me accountable to these things, I can be a better man, husband, father, boyfriend, worker, music, everything that I am, I can be better at that. Because if you're pushing me, I'm going to grow in every area because you're better than me, and all of those things are a part of me. So that, and I'm gonna take it here. You gotta be. Hold on for a second.
Right, he's right. He's wrong.
You gotta be invested in the sex life. And I'm be very, very honest. Like I'm not nobody that's gonna sugarcoat. I seen her hands up.
Wait, can you, no. I just want you to clarify. Well, you probably
What it means to be
I'm sorry. Yeah, because you probably was going to say that.
I'm just saying you cut me short, but I can get
My
into
fault.
I can get into
didn't
it.
want you to finish
But no, when I say invested in the sex life, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be invested. You know what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. If I need to go further, I can
Be
go.
real and authentic.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Listen, right?
Go ahead. Just lay it out on the
That's
table.
it.
Let it out.
First and foremost, I prefer someone that's spontaneous. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to dibble and dabble in different areas of the earth, if you know what I mean. And that's first and foremost, too. You can't be scary. You understand? This is a learning curve. We're going to do new things. So what work for you might not work for the next person, and we're going to go forth and go on. Also, on top of that, right, we also have to understand that every position isn't doable. So we got to understand that I'm not upset at that. We're going to try it. We're going to try it. We're going to figure out what works, and then we're going to go from there. Also, we got to be honest in this thing, right? We got to be honest. We have to understand that eventually there's only but so many positions we can try. There's only but so many places in the room, house we can try. And what I've learned is no matter if the position is the same, if the pregame changes, the sex can be different. So if you can, we can go missionary 10 times straight. But I promise you, if we change the pregame, if we go to Chickies and Pete's on Mondays, we go walk down Kelly Drive Tuesday, I promise you that same position will be different every time because we change the pregame. So you got to be willing to be invested, stay spiced in it. Even, listen, be invested on your own sex life so when we come together, it'll be better. So ain't nothing wrong with your own personal practice. And I ain't in your business, ladies. Talk heavy, walk light. Sips tea.
Okay. No, that's a good segue.
Now, since we're speaking about sex,
Hey,
when's the last time you had
Look.
But no, man, seriously, like, I'm gonna be real. Let me be real for a second. This is my problem with church folk. I feel like sex is a conversation that we run from. Why? Why is sex that conversation that in the church?
Right, but then when
Because they said the bedroom is what?
Right, but this the thing. But that's what happens.
But
because
still,
when we don't talk about things stuff creep up in the church, and then they like, oh, let's tackle it.
'Cause you-
Don't
listen,
Don't tackle my sin.
Let me explain
when
something
it
to
first
you.
happened. Tackle it before.
One thing I can say, and I would listen. You take it for what it is, and I think my pop would allow me to say this on today. My pop ain't give me no watered down conversation when it came into sex. He was very real. He said, "Listen, let's first clarify this. You know what the Bible says. We understand that, but also I'm not stupid. Things happen, mistakes happen, sin takes place.
Yep.
So if that time does come, and then we went to a whole different conversation,
Right.
and now that made me address things totally different. The people saying you better wait to this, and you not going to parties because now you keep me sheltered. 80% of people that stay sheltered wind up being the first ones that pop out with a wham.
But not only that,
And ain't
I
nothing
feel
wrong
like-
with that. But the problem is, the problem is like have these conversations. Why are we so afraid? It was like we sheltering our kids from life.
Because
They're
you know,
going to
that
address it
comes
regardless.
That comes from what's rooted in them.
Right.
Things that they haven't
Exactly.
the experiences that they've had not being able to be as expressive, right? That's what's wrong with the black community. We don't, from the top down, save our young folk from traumatic experiences. All we need is honest conversation.
And
my dad wasn't around to talk to me about sex. So when I was ready for it, I didn't have any men around me to talk about it. I didn't talk to the women around because that's disgusting in my mind. So I looked at porn, and this is what. Okay, that's how you. All right, bet. Boom, 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 boom. And then the first time I tried to mimic what I saw, and it was like, yeah, that ain't it, bro. But then you get the experience, and then you know what to do and what not to do because
Right.
you're having conversation with who you're doing it with,
Right.
and they kind of tell you what.
But imagine if
learn
Because
how to
that's
please the person.
yeah. 'cause
imagine
that's
if
what
you had
happened
the
for me.
Yeah.
if you had the comfortability to talk to your parents though.
No,
Like,
see,
That's
I
and that's
don't
and,
want to.
and
I
I
mean,
think
I did, but
that's
I
what
didn't want
most
to.
parents don't understand is like when you shelter kids from these things. Now, because you shelter them, when that child does, when that person does have that baby out of wedlock, now they like cast it off because it was a conversation that wasn't addressed. We don't feel comfortable speaking about it, so now we just going with the church says. But we had those conversations like it's a sin, just like every other sin. All right, you
Yeah.
made a mistake. Let's go from there. But if we address these conversations at a younger and stop holding off and feel like we had that conversation,
But I got
it's a part of life.
I don't
But
want
then
her to
I-
talk
but
to me
yeah,
about
But
it.
we
then
had talked about
I
drugs,
wanna talk about
alcohol,
it.
But
all
you
these
know
other
what it is?
things.
But you know what it is? I never had the comfortability to talk to my parents about that. My mom was like, "It's abstinence, like
Yeah,
straight. Like
up,
when it
yeah.
came that time, like
How did that
for
make
me
you
to,
feel
like,
though?
It made me feel like okay, like if I have sex, like this gonna be the world's greatest sin. Like it just got, and that's the thing. But
That's
as
not
I
fair to
got,
you, though.
It's not fair
Right.
to me.
That's
And
what
as
we know,
I
though.
got older, I tapped into some things, and I had to learn.
I did too.
I learned the way I learned,
Yeah.
and then I got buck wild in college. Let me clarify buck wild, all right?
Baby,
It- it-
listen.
it- it-
And we get it.
Listen,
She
it
want a
was-
hoe.
right?
But
It was okay, but I got to that point, and then this the crazy thing. As I got older, now being where I'm at now, my mom had sensed that I was sexually active, and then she did. And this the crazy thing. Once she found out that I was
sweating,
pregnant,
God,
she
Jimmy.
didn't. She was like, "I knew you were sexually active." But I didn't know when to like talk to you
to you
because
about it.
we never had an established
The foundation was never
time
laid.
where we could do it because it was like God only honors this.
Right,
If you
right,
do this, it's wrong.
Right. I just think,
So why does any of the sin have that harsh of a?
I don't know. And I'm not too concerned about that. My thing is this, like, I'm gonna do what pleases me. And sometimes those things aren't
I would do what please
honorable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oak said, "Listen."
I think
Right.
and I don't want to say the worst thing, but the best lesson I learned as a Christian was God grants forgiveness. And I don't tempt God.
Right.
To, you know
Listen,
what I'm saying?
let me explain something
I
to
don't
y'all.
tempt God, like, do
Right.
stuff and be like, yeah, he going to forgive me for it. Or, yeah, he going to deliver. No, I'm not that crazy.
Right.
But I'm like, yo, if I make I'm never going to say a mistake. If I make a choice that I
Right.
know isn't in alignment with my teachings, my religious teachings and my beliefs, then I also know how to go to the source
Right.
to get what I need as a response to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to play myself and act like these aren't things that I desire.
But sometimes if it's too good, you're not even gonna think about that. Listen,
About
I-
the
'cause-
simple part.
Tomorrow
Listen.
too? All right, bet.
Listen, okay, like it'll be like
I ain't commenting.
and it's crazy because it's been times where like I had communion and then I busted open like after service.
Listen,
The night
So
before
it,
communion.
it happens,
And listen, as time,
and you don't
see,
Lord,
Lord,
think about that.
I left
you be like, oh, I'm gonna bust up
Like,
a.
let's
Bible study one night.
let's lay it out on the table. Like we ain't always thinking about that.
So my daughter was conceived.
Okay,
Doing Bible study.
Bible
Right.
study.
like come on.
I wasn't going
straight-
to the car. I didn't
Bruh.
feel like it. Like,
For real.
oh, this going down?
Yo.
I straight asked God to
Oh,
forgive me of my sins, and then start a new series of sins right after.
I'm on my third second chance right now.
I'm
I'm on my third.
Question.
Yo.
In the moment of action, right? What could he or she do to be like, yeah, nah, I'm good?
What you mean? Elaborate.
You in the moment, y'all vibing, it's going down, right? Is there anything that she could do or he could do in the moment or say in the moment?
Listen, don't touch my butt. Let's just get right into it.
Are you ser- like
That's what you was getting at, right? The things that you
Things
can't.
like that, yeah.
Yeah,
I
don't. What you mean? I'll be very honest. I prefer you. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Toilet tissue, that's it. And a rag, washcloth.
touching your butt and
But
then
wait,
digging into this.
right?
And it ain't no need for you to be
Are you
down there.
serious?
Listen, that's me and
Oh,
mine.
that's good. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? These drawers right here for sitting.
So she can't touch it.
So wait, so
I mean, you could taste
all right,
it.
all right.
Taste it. You try. This giving kinky. This giving kinky up in this
Shout out
place.
to Kinky Curly who couldn't make
Kink,
it.
we love you, sister.
Yo.
Get well to Kinky, we love you, sister.
Yeah.
But no, I'm one of them guys like, well, you know what I'm saying? Conversation has been held about like, you know.
So wait, so if you're okay,
So listen, bro, what you not going to do?
yo.
See, we getting real. We getting real. Let me
wait,
sip
what
my.
if- wait,
hold,
what if
hold,
you're-
time
what
out.
if
Can we
you're
just have a
in-
moment of silence for the
right.
games he played?
Wait, okay, I'm just answering questions.
So wait,
Talk
what
about,
if, what if,
he
what if
trying to
you're
figure out
in a
how I'm going to be
position-
positioned.
Hold on, Faye.
What if you're in a position where she can reach it and just like touch it? Cause it's like the way you
If you
moving.
listen, if you do a listen, only thing that's gonna be happening is a light grease.
Like one of them.
Kev.
Yeah, a light. If my hand, if my cheek or anything is in your hand for more than 3 seconds, don't go down there with some or try to do.
Oh no, see.
Yeah.
If she moaning her breath,
The most,
nah, I'm
the
cool.
most you'll catch me laughing is like you walking past me like, okay, babe, something like that. All right, but don't be all like handful of me and caressing and enjoying. Like,
Really?
why are you rubbing my butt?
So wait, so like, okay, so if let's say you're in missionary position, right? Okay.
I'm with all that.
You all
Just
up
don't
in her
stick nothing
neck,
in it.
you hitting all the G spots,
Uh-huh.
all that, right? And she's able to reach
Back.
your cake. You just going like,
It's gonna calmly be a whole time out. Oh, you hear me? Oh, it's gonna be like whole time out. What you doing?
God.
I said slow down. I said slow down.
but she telling you to keep going. So that's her way of like encouraging you.
You know what you do?
What?
Keep going. Just tell me. Just communicate with me.
Yo, I can't. Yo.
My
That's
nerves,
me.
dog.
So let me ask
That's
you a
what
question. Your buttocks is on limits.
For her to touch it, I'm not like I don't.
So
Touching it is one thing.
so you mentioned that they reach back for a handful, 10 seconds of a handful, just they can go ahead and grab
her
that.
hand is on my. I don't see nothing wrong with her touching my butt.
All right, that's
It's- now I'm punching her in her stomach if she try to put her finger in there or something like that. But
You ever had a female ask you, can she eat your butt?
Hey
smack her in her face.
yo.
Don't ever ask me that. Like,
These questions are being asked in the
Yeah,
world we
yo.
live in.
No, don't
and,
ever
and these
ask
actions
me
are
that.
being done.
don't. Some people with it. Some people with it. I just can't because the idea is like how we about to do this because like.
First
I'm
off,
not-
I can't get
I'm
past
not-
the fact of like, is it one or two things gonna happen? I gotta think of the position,
Yeah, that's
or you
what I'm
gonna
saying.
tell me?
Yeah.
Don't you ever tell me put it in the air? You said do what? Put what in the air?
Hey.
That's what I'm saying.
You talking about this instant? You gotta be talking about this instant.
In the same token, though, there are certain women who like to be. People
That's
like
why
to be
I had to
pleased in
get-
certain ways, and when people get in the moment, all of those things come out that don't necessarily happen in conversation. Because I know
Right.
sometimes
Yeah.
I have allowed myself to be a part of things that I, in my mind, would have never. Right. But in the moment, you can't. You just flow.
I said I'd never heard from cellophane. God Jiminy.
Hey, bro, if we can
Oh,
make
hang
it
it
happen
from
from
a
a
ceiling
ceiling
fan.
fan, we gonna
Wow.
Oh, this little shirt hanging from a ceiling fan. I got his little shirt on for the ceiling fan. Little side
Yo.
match.
I'm trying to let him be. Good.
All right, so what's your
He
non?
can-
What
he
what's
can
your
about that.
what's your if in the middle of action?
I
what-
said it.
And
That's
that's
a breath stink.
Or for me,
What's yours?
it's the asking the dumb questions. Like
Oh,
like
is
it's
it-
right.
this
You know, like
mine?
asking.
give me some.
Yeah,
Give me
like-
examples.
You let it.
Those insecurity questions, though.
What?
Those are insecurity questions. When men
Those
start,
are?
Yeah, he
When
doesn't
men-
know
when
he
they-
doing
oh,
it.
I
men
see.
start
Got
asking you
you.
those questions in the process of like this mine.
That's him trying
This
to
better
make
be
sure you
mine.
know.
That makes
It's
sense.
insecurity because one or two things is happening.
Hmm.
One, he isn't confident that you are solely his, or he isn't confident in his game as a man, which may
Yeah.
make him think that hey, she might be stepping up because I'm not hitting it right. So let me make sure that this is mine. But we get into these conversations.
No, that makes sense. That does make sense because,
So, man,
like, after
ladies,
a while, it's
he
like,
start asking you
are
that,
we in this
remind him
position
it's
for
his.
10 minutes and you keep saying, "Is this mine?" Yeah.
You
Like,
in it, ain't you?
For now, nigga.
Like-
Dang, like I mean,
Hello, like
until
next,
you finish.
Nigga, you in it, ain't you? You know what I'm saying? God, Jiminy.
For
next.
now, yeah, stuff
But
like
no,
yeah.
but no.
That's weird.
So what's some of the dumbest questions you've heard?
Dumbest question.
Is it what you like when I touch your big toe?
Oh, no. Like,
big toe.
you gonna make me a meal after this? Or
wow,
or-
wait,
yeah,
wow.
What?
I feel like
And-
get out.
They go see them TV dinners in there.
Like you going
Are you
it's
serious?
kind of like they giving you like a sexual spanking or something like that. Like you know like when your parents beat you, they be like, so you gonna do this right next time, right? Wet. But then like
Right, make you a meal.
Right, make you a meal. Or you
I
gonna
gotta
go
go
in
to
that
the market.
kitchen,
You
do
tripping.
this,
No, that's disgusting.
all this type
You
of
should have
crazy
been
stuff.
like, no, we can order.
No, we can order.
I'm like, this is your meal, nigga.
Yeah, that was
What?
yeah,
Hit him with that. Hit him with
Right.
that.
If
You
I'm
can make me
really hungry,
something
I'm like, oh,
you
no.
eating right now.
I
Nigga be stuck
I
like,
finish myself.
nigga be stuck like, damn. Nigga all confused like, damn, like, yo.
All right, so look. What are some things that really annoys you or really bothers you about men or women? Like, what are some things they say, or some things they do that really like annoy you? Like grinds your, what grinds your gears?
Oh, you know
Like,
what grinds my gears? Let me start.
Talk to him.
When a woman says that a man ain't, but she
Ain't
got
what?
a starting 5 by him.
Whole lineup.
Sis, he's
He
doing
gotta be
something.
somebody.
He is the shit because
Right.
5 kids, sis. 5. I went through labor.
She said he was in
36
your-
hours of it.
Oh my God,
If
that sounds
I'm willing to do that, no epidural, by the way.
5.
No, none of that. 36 hours, right? If I'm willing to go through that, let's say 3 times, and I'm still saying that nigga ain't shit.
Almost
You
100.
ain't-
it's something
Almost
wrong with
100
me.
hours in the labor. You almost
Something
100
wrong with
hours.
you.
Cause ain't no way. Let me tell you something. What I went through with birth, I ain't going to just let anybody inside and go through that if you ain't shit.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right,
I'm
right.
we not. I'm sorry.
right,
If
yeah.
you corny, bruh, listen. We wrap it up, my guy. Like, cause
that's
it's
real.
not even going to. But if you doing the damn thing, all right. 36 hours. You want to go 48? Okay,
Right.
great. But seriously, like you got to think about that
No,
stuff.
for sure.
Because
For sure.
because when it comes time, when reality hits, the growing pains and all that, you can't keep saying he ain't shit and you still popping out his kids and they still got his DNA.
You still-
that kind of like goes off my like in same alignment almost. Like I hate when men and women take their experiences with men and women and then generalize all men to be that type of man or all women to be that type of woman. Like that, like how is that fair? Like is this girl I went to college with,
Uh-oh.
and some of her posts be so controversial, and I'm like, I don't be wanting to say nothing because the first thing she'll start to man bash because she'll think I'm coming at femininity at large. Like she's quick to say men this and men that, and men should do this and men should consider this, but she never once stopped to realize how her personal opinions are judgmental enough to categorize all men as this. And then she wants to be pro-black this and black men need this, our black men need, but you ain't with a black man. So what do you got this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying she's ill-equipped to talk
Right.
about her experience, but my thing is this: stop man bashing and women bashing and saying things like your experiences are your experiences. She ain't mess with him. So her man ain't like your man because he
Right.
ain't your man. You know what I'm saying? There may be some similarities in there, but he ain't him and she ain't her. So like, stop generalizing all men into this category because you keep falling or going after the same type of man. And the same for men. Stop categorizing women in that category of the same women you choose to go for. Like that's not cool.
Right.
That's not fair. And I feel like that's one of the things men aren't allowed to say out loud.
Right.
Like, we can't speak truthfully about how we feel, what women do, and what women say. Because specifically in a black culture, black women got this, some black women, not all, got this thing that black brothers don't have their backs. And to an extent, a lot of us don't. Well, I'm not going to say us, because I'm not
Have the
gonna
women's back or
categorize
have each other's back?
like black men don't support black women.
Okay,
the
okay,
way
okay.
black women support black men.
But black women don't always support black
That's the thing. Like
We can
it's
get into that.
this the thing.
That's
Anything
real life, though.
anything where two are gathered, it's
Hey!
gotta be reciprocated.
My lord.
It cannot be one sided. I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like when you dance with somebody, it's not you in a shadow. It's you and the other person. Like it's this constant like one sided thing. Like you know they telling the kids well, you know, we don't need daddy because we got it all over here and all this other stuff. And then you struggling, standing on the corner, and he living up in a penthouse. You could have been up in the penthouse, sis. But you sitting over here constantly telling him what that does to a man's mind is because society already got too many pressures on black men. Y'all want black men to do this. Y'all want them to do that. But do you understand the encouragement that you get, the love that you get? Don't you think he want that too?
Thank you.
Because he wants to be the best. Because if he's not the best, society gonna tell him.
And so that'll kind of dive into one of my like pet peeves is like women that don't understand the man, right? And before they really try to understand the man, and then also on top of that, my sisters, before you apply pressure on a man, see if there's pressure to be removed first. Because a lot of times we apply pressure on top of pressure, and that's what causes a man to snap. That's what causes a relationship not to work. So one of my biggest pet peeves is before you come in, I told you the challenge, and you're absolutely right. But first, assess the situation. Assess the pressure that's already being applied from different avenues before you go applying new pressure, because then now I'm that black man that's being aggressive, or that black man. Not saying that I do these things, let's be clear. But I'm speaking for just the, you know what I'm saying, the people. But now you're that black man that's snapping, that's cussing, that's fussing, that's angry, that ain't coming home at night, all because the pressure is being applied. Like, then you applying all this, you ain't even ask me how the pressure I'm dealing with at work. You ain't addressed the pressure I'm dealing with my mom and my pop being divorced. You ain't addressing the pressure with me being depressed, or you just applying pressure. Why this ain't done? Why that ain't done? Address the current pressure that's applied. Try to help me heal, and then come at me. Because at that point, when you come at me, I know it's from a place of love, but you first loved me before you didn't. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times men can't receive that because the sisters just, this, and then we get into that with this nigga ain't shit and all this, and like, because you ain't give me a chance to show you that I was shit. You just came at my shit.
And I feel like a lot of the times we go into new situations holding on to baggage from the old ones.
Yes.
And I think, like,
Elaborate, talk to him.
I always use this, and I use this analogy a lot in like many different forms. But it's like you go to a mall, and there are over 50-something stores in this mall, and you got enough bread to shop at all of them if you choose to, right? You park right outside the door. All you got to do is make a trip to the car, right? And you go to 10 stores, and your arms are full with bags, your hands are full, but you don't have no more capacity to carry anything else. And you need to make a choice. Do I stop shopping, or do I just go drop off these bags and then come back in and do the rest of my? And more often than not, you're gonna make the decision. I can add more. I can do this. I'm only gonna buy this. I'm only gonna do this. And then before you know it, you're immobile because you got more bags than you can carry. The weight is too heavy, and you ain't make that trip to the car. And now you got to figure out how I'm going to get out of here with all this stuff. It's the same mindset with these occurrences, too. Like, I can't enter a relationship and expect her to take that car trip. I got the baggage.
Bad lady.
So I have to drop it off, right? I have to make the decision of, if I'm going to take the trip to the car, I'm doing it because what I'm going to get when I go back in there is going to be to the benefit of me to have space to carry it, right? And that's how it is with the relationship. I can't walk into something expecting security and expecting it to be as flawless as possible, not perfect, not that it won't be flawed, but expecting her to carry the weight of my baggage. And then the reverse. Yeah,
because it really boils down to this. I'm going to grow with you, but I'm not going to grow for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? It's because it's like...
You said, say it again?
I'm going to grow with you. I'm not going to grow for you.
Yeah.
Get a church man,
you know?
on that.
Because it's too much of that nowadays.
Yeah, for sure.
With the extra baggage and this person, we can't have sex because of what this situation did and all this other stuff. But God just gave you somebody where you don't have to ever experience that again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can I mention one thing? I want to jump off your little baggage piece. I'm going to join you on your little mall trip, if that's cool, right?
Not the mall trip.
Why you looking at me like that?
I'm waiting. Go. I'm listening.
You want church, man?
No, I'm fine.
I got a pocket full of sucking seeds.
He's drawing.
But you know what's crazy? You said the baggage thing, right? And I'm be honest, I was 100% was follow you on the whole baggage thing. I'm like, all right, man, he really painted this picture. But you know, another big piece of the baggage thing, and going into your little mall thing that you was in is like, you ever walk into a store, you got bags from other stores, and when you go in there, they do what?
They'll take it for you.
that check it bag. Now sometimes a lot of stores they won't tell you, oh, you can't bring your bags in, but they will check it. That's how we got to do. Baby, listen, you can come into a relationship.
Right.
This is a fresh store. You ain't been in here yet.
Fresh store.
And I understand you got some bags. And I'm not saying you can't bring your bags. What I have to check these bags. And you have to be willing to allow me. Because I could walk into, oh, you ain't checking my bags and I'm out. All right, well, you missed out. You missed out on what you could have got in the store. But if you say, hey, you can open all of these, what do you come, you got to open every bag. Right or wrong, you can't say you can check my H&M bag, but you ain't check this polo bag. Why? Because that polo bag is something you don't want me to see. So if you want to open every bag, come on in the store. Because 9 times out of 10, you came here because you wanted something. And the goal is for you to leave out. The goal is for you to leave out with something. And I want you to leave out with something. But you got to let me check them back.
Like,
okay.
Because you wanted something. Ooh, girl.
And listen, this is W. It says WDAS, the quiet.
All right, so if we could close out with this, right? Ooh, because then I got to give my minute to beat. But what would you say?
Take your time, brother.
Faye, what would you say to women who fall in a space of uncertainty around, like, I want to be the woman that pleases their man. I want to be the woman who listens. I want to be the woman that this and that, but find it kind of hard to be that authentically. And she becomes exactly what we mentioned plenty of times here, the one that men bash, all men ain't ish because of her experience. What would you say to her? And then I'm going to ask you to say the same to the men. And then I'm going to give my minute to beat. And we going to beat out, get out, leave right now. Oh, my fault.
What I would say to women is this. Be flexible in understanding a perspective that may not align with yours. Because men think a certain way, women think a certain way. But the person that God intends for you, he's going to allow it for y'all to have 2 different perspectives, but y'all still have a strong foundation. So be flexible with that. Like, don't always think like, you know, if he thinks a certain way, no, that's not right. No, we can't do that. No, don't be one-sided. Because if you really want to enjoy what you want in life, you got to be prepared for what it's going to come with. Okay? So if you want a man that communicates, then you got to be willing to be prepared for him to communicate. If he's telling you he don't want to talk and he's having a bad day, then you got to be prepared for that. Don't be saying like, oh, babe, just man up. It's going to be all right. Just go on to the next day. No. Encourage him. Understand that, because that's the issue. Women, they keep praying for these type of men, but they're not ready for them. You have to be some type of prepared for what you're praying for. And if you're not prepared for it, keep going. Keep working on yourself. Heal. Do what you have to do. Trust God. But don't trust God and be lazy. Trust him and put the work into it.
Put in work. If you don't want
That's it.
Don't your feelings hurt. That's on you, good brother.
You ask a question again?
Dang.
No, honestly.
The one in the back of the classroom that's like, you're not in trouble in class.
Yo, I can't.
No, the question was,
I did exactly what I did here. Eat snacks.
what would you say to the man who struggles to find himself in an authentic space, wanting to, you know, be the best man he can be for the women, but falls in that category of the men who categorize all women by his bad experiences with women? What would you say to him?
First and foremost, we got to deal with us. For like a lot of time as men, we forget that we have pride, we have ego, and we get so focused on telling the lady or the woman or our significant other what they have to do that we forget about us. I think before we become so focused in suggesting and trying to help fix or prepare or be a part of someone else's growth process, we got to ensure that we're all right with our own process, because it's very, very hard to encourage someone else and take care of yourself if you're not first taking care of yourself. So I would say to every man out there, my brother, take care of yourself. Take care of you, because I heard it once. It said, "Don't be invested in black women. Don't be in black women's business if you're not invested in it." So if you're not going to be fully invested in our sisters, you're not gonna be fully invested in what they got going on, if you're not willing to check those bags and then be okay with what you see inside those bags, if you're not secure and confident who you are as a man, and your lady can't wear those beautiful bathing suits that you want to see her in but don't want her to wear them if she's not with you, like if you're not confident in who you are, deal with that first, because what you can do is begin to damage and hurt our sisters, and we can't do that, my brother. So let's take care of our sisters, and let's go from there, and then from there, just love on them, and then sisters, love on us back. Love on us back, because a lot of us brothers haven't received love the right way from our mothers. So it starts at the mothers. Show your sons how to be loved, so then they can hold their ladies accountable to love them that same way, if not better.
That was good.
Yeah, that was a word.
And before I get into my minute to be, I want to say this out loud. Men, we don't have a right to a say-so to what women decide to do with their bodies. We don't get to partake in conversation, and we should not be sitting at tables that are creating these things that prohibit women to authentically own their bodies in the ways that they want to. So a part of what we need to do is to exit spaces that don't belong to us, and all of those things aren't welcomed, and we have to know that that's not a space for us. Women are entitled to feel how they want to feel about their bodies and do whatever they need to do to feel comfortable with themselves and the body that they have, whether or not we agree to it. I just needed to put that out there, say that out loud, all right? But this is my minute to be, all right? So, Faye, this is what I do. At the end, I wrap it up with a minute to be. I kind of like give the folk who watching, all two of them, so I can,
Real disrespectful.
a little something to take home, okay? So today is simply this. Be consistent, be willing, be ready. This is what I need y'all to do, okay? And I'm looking at y'all because I know you're listening. Today's conversation was very dope. It was real, it was raw, it was authentic, and it was necessary. But I want you to take away today, your minute to be is to be consistent, be willing, and be ready. And this is what that means. Be consistent in learning you enough to learn her or to learn him, right? Consistent in your willingness to authentically learn, right? Always participate in conversation to know more about what pleases her or what pleases him, what makes him happy, what makes her happy, what makes him uncomfortable, what makes her uncomfortable. Be consistent in that. Always be consistent in learning, right? Be willing to accept whatever the truth is in response to those things as it is her truth or his truth. And that has to be a period. Be willing to accept the period at the end of that, right? Her truth is her truth, period. His truth is his truth, period. Be willing to accept that. Don't insert yourself in their truth, because then it doesn't become theirs. Be willing to just accept it for what it is, right? And then do the work in response to that, so that consistency is always happening, right? And then be ready for what's to come. Be ready to take this ride with her. Take this ride with him, right? And that's a physical ride for those who like it that way. And that's just the journey. Enjoy the journey and be ready for that journey. And sometimes it's not going to be comfortable. More often than not, it's not going to be comfortable. But that means there's always space for growth, and there's always space for progression. So that's what I need. I need y'all to be that today. Be consistent, be willing, and be ready. All right? Faye, my good sis, I appreciate you. Kev, my good, well, I don't know. Am I supposed to call him Kev or Big Homie Kev?
Just call me Big Homie.
Mr. Young talking, like however you say it.
I like Big Homie.
I don't know how to say it. Huh? You like what?
Big Homie.
You saw how he did it, though?
You're right.
I like Big Homie.
Right.
Like, I'm not calling you no Big Homie.
I'm just saying, the whole time we've been on here tonight, you do this little thing, like when you talk, you sing with the hands. Like you be doing all that while you know, I just really think that y'all should just,
that's how I.
that y'all should just really just understand that when we be.
So you trying to say I'm like a,
That's how you be. You be saying you be.
I can't help it. That's
Can you do one favor for everybody?
Don't do that.
Can you unbutton your top button?
It is.
No, the next one.
No.
Please.
No.
One time.
Just keep sort of
Just one
I
time.
can't.
Give us a little sweat, Keith. Just be.
Yo, I appreciate y'all for watching episode 5. B, because the soul needs the soundtrack. It's been great. It's
Yes.
been real. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. We out.
Bye.
That was great.